At the beginning of the video, there is a lone Russian sapper on a motorcycle. He moves calmly, first along the road, then turning into an open field. He probably knows where he is going, but the fact that he is alone, without cover or support, already seems strange. His task is to clear minefields, but he has no idea that he is already being watched. After a few minutes, two more sappers appear. They also get on motorcycles and set off along the same route, first past the trees, then into the same field where their comrade was riding. Ukrainian cameramen watch them closely. The cameras record every movement, every turn. The sappers drive across the entire field and stop near a small forest strip, a place where they feel relatively safe. But that is where the Ukrainian operators are already waiting for them. A few seconds later, the operator makes a decision, and the drone enters the target and delivers the first strike. One of the sappers falls, wounded. The drone moves away, the operator observes and assesses the situation. Then, the second strike. Another enemy sapper is spotted among the bushes. He is trying to hide, but the operator sees him, and in an instant, he strikes. Meanwhile, the wounded soldier who survived tries to crawl across the field. His movements are slow, but you can still see his despair and desire to survive. The Ukrainian operators are in no hurry, they watch. The soldier crawls a few meters, looks back, and at that moment the operator makes the final decision. The FPV drone takes off again and strikes again. Now these sappers will no longer be able to harm Ukrainian military personnel. After destroying the enemy sappers, Ukrainian operators continued to monitor the area. Suddenly, the camera captures new movement. An enemy motorized vehicle, an armored personnel carrier carrying troops, is slowly moving along the road. The vehicle moves confidently, without stopping. It seems that the crew is unaware that they have been under observation for some time. The operators immediately notice them and continue to observe them. And in an instant, Ukrainian troops strike. But the transport, seemingly unaware of the danger, continues to move forward. The operators are calm, they are in no hurry. The motorcycle turns off the road and heads across the field toward the forest belt. They drive forward confidently, and then a second strike moves onward. Now the vehicle is moving toward the second forest belt. They continue driving, and the operators follow every meter of the way. Approaching the second forest belt, the crew begins to get out of the vehicle. Russian soldiers jump out of the vehicle. They try to get away from the vehicle, but as soon as the troops get out, the Ukrainian army strikes the vehicle again. The troops begin to flee, chaotically, without a plan. It is clear that they do not understand where the fire is coming from, but the operators continue to watch them, striking the enemy one after another. After a few minutes, the operators notice new movement. Several soldiers are trying to hide in a trench. The camera zooms in. You can see how they panic and don't understand what is happening. A few more seconds of observation, and the operator strikes. Now these enemy soldiers are wounded. One of the enemies tries to climb out of the trench because he understands that it is dangerous to stay here. He steps out onto the field and starts walking, hoping to escape, but the operators see him. He covers a few meters, then stops, looks around, not understanding what is happening, and the Ukrainian troops strike. There is an explosion nearby, and the enemy soldier continues to move. Next, the operators notice two enemy soldiers running across an open field, trying to find some kind of cover. They move quickly, looking back, realizing that their appearance has not gone unnoticed. Ukrainian operators watch them closely from above. They do not rush, allowing the enemy to move a little further so they can determine their direction of movement with certainty. After a brief observation, the operator makes a decision and strikes. The operators continue to monitor the situation. Nothing seems to be changing, but suddenly, movement appears on the horizon. 4 enemy soldiers begin moving directly toward Ukrainian positions. Ukrainian operators immediately notice this and take aim at the group. Noticing the drone, the enemy begins to panic. They can be seen looking around, rushing to the side, trying to find cover, but continuing to move forward. Ukrainian soldiers in their positions begin to move toward the enemy, remaining unnoticed. They do not open fire immediately, they wait for the right moment. When the enemy group approaches, Ukrainian soldiers throw a grenade. The explosion breaks the silence, and the enemy is confused. They did not expect this. Immediately after that, a short but powerful attack begins. Ukrainian soldiers act in unison, giving the enemy no chance to get closer. But the battle is not over. Operators notice that another motorized vehicle with troops is moving toward this area. Meanwhile, it is getting dark outside. Night drones begin to operate. Operators switch to thermal imaging surveillance. As enemy vehicles approach Ukrainian positions, soldiers jump out of their vehicles and try to advance on foot. After waiting a while, they try to reach Ukrainian positions, and the enemy enters the Ukrainian trenches. The enemy still manages to get closer. They enter the Ukrainian trenches, but surveillance continues. A FPV drone watches them, and in an instant, the operator makes a decision, a precise strike. Panic breaks out among them. But the drone's work is complicated by the enemy's attempts to break through the barricades. Despite this, the operators continue to work. Some of the enemy soldiers begin to retreat. Those who try to escape are under close surveillance. 2 enemy soldiers are running across an open field. It is dark outside, so they probably do not know that they are being watched, and they continue to run. The operator watches them for a while and then strikes. The operator watches for a moment to make sure of the result, then delivers another precise strike, after which he decides to deliver one more strike to stop the enemy. Then the camera switches to another enemy. He is walking slowly, unaware that a drone is flying above him. He walks further and further, but the operator does not let him out of his sight. The enemy just keeps walking, and the operator just watches him. And at one point, strikes. The field freezes again. The enemy attack is stopped. Next, the operator spots an enemy soldier hiding behind a tree. He stands right next to the trunk, trying not to move, hoping that the drone will not notice him. He probably thinks that the drone will just fly by without paying attention, but the operator has already pointed the camera and begins to slowly descend. The drone approaches meter by meter. The silence becomes tense. The enemy realizes that he has been spotted. At the last moment, he begins to wave his leg, trying to knock the drone down or push it away, but it is useless. The operator strikes. Another attempt to hide from the drone ends in failure. The sky is once again on Ukraine's side.